In a great abyss just beside the vast mountains, a rabbit silently examines the field. Just then, a light too bright for a human to see stretches beyond the forest. A magical tree appeared, its vines hanging on the branches and flowing on the ground, as if surveying its surroundings. The tree suddenly coughed. It almost choked to death. The tree looks around and realizes that it is lost. It seems aware that it is in the middle of wilderness. A bee buzzed in front of the tree. Zzz, as it said. The tree began to panic. It realized that its hair had gone thick with leaves. The tree started to think it was a strange dream. Maybe because its life had gone busy. That's why many weird things are happening. The tree decided to go back to sleep. Maybe it will be back to normal after it wakes up. Seconds later, it panicked again. This tree is, in fact, a human who turned into a tree. This tree, a human rather, remembered having a sip of water. It actually choked on water and died. How hilarious is that? The tree then started to ask more questions. Did I get reincarnated? Why did I turn into a tree? To this tree, being reincarnated means being attractive and having a harem. The tree realizes that it doesn't even have limbs. Without arms, how can it do one-handed pull-ups? Moreover, the tree began to think deeper. Repentance seems impossible. The tree suddenly noticed something. Commonly, trees do not have eyes, but this tree is different. It has a full range of vision. Imagine not turning your head 360 degrees to see everything. Furthermore, the tree sensed that it does not smell, but rather it feels. The tree noticed that it has 50 branches, but the ironic thing is, it can only move one. The tree tried to move the remaining 49 branches, and it worked. Voila! The tree can finally control all its branches. As the tree thought of what it could do, he imagined being pecked by a woodpecker. Just a single woodpecker is enough to kill a tree. Up on the horizon, a plane zooms by. The tree concludes that maybe it is in the modern world. Maybe the timeline is the same too. The bees buzzed again, but this time it was louder. The tree was furious. Like the legendary Bruce Lee, the tree chopped the bees with its branches. Double kill. The enemy has been slain. A series of notifications popped up in front of the tree. According to the projection, Yuzu, a mutant willow, has a lifespan of 0.120 years. Its ability is mutated branches. Passive abilities include receiving sunlight and killing other creatures. Yuzu recently gained 0.2 evolution points for killing the bees and receiving sunlight. Consequently, branches can be strengthened using the evolution points. Yuzu ruminates. He decided to use the evolution points to strengthen a few of his branches. He laughed. It felt like he had lifted weights in the gym. Yuzu spotted a beehive nearby. The buzzing is loud again. This time, there is nothing to worry about. With a swift cut, Yuzu slapped the shit out of the beehive. Half a month later, Yuzu had finally gained strength in all his branches. He thought of striking a huge slab of rock in front of him. Whirlwind tornado charge. His branches fused into one as he struck the rock. Yuzu examined the rock. His branches did not touch it, yet a small part of it was smashed by airwaves created by the branches. This could be a good technique to use for an attack. Lure the enemy and kill it in one hit. Yuzu noticed that he also grown taller. He's not the same as the ordinary trees that we see. He's definitely a unique one. The roots are extraordinary as well. Yuzu feels like he is absorbing raw energy from the earth. He realizes that he's a special tree, and unlike humans, he can live longer. One day, he'll become as significant as the world tree. Acknowledging that life is better being a tree than a human, Yuzu is quite ecstatic with this new beginning. Breaking a few of his branches, he discovered a nest of peregrine falcons. Comparing an adult falcon's nature to a leopard, Yuzu was amazed by this creature. Fascinated by this knowledge, he realized that he lacks an air battle ability. Gaining another life as a tree, he must conquer all odds and do his best to survive. Tempest wolves roam freely, ravaging every scrape left on Earth. Large-sized ants flew like tornadoes, destroying everything in their wake. A gigantic spider queen looms, making each tiny creature feel insignificant. Do you know that King Kong also exists in this world? What about a viper with a huge axe on its head? Yuzu killed another creature again. This time, it was a rabbit. He fed it to the baby peregrine falcons. After further strengthening his branches, he wants to grow his tree roots and trunks as well. Giving his evolution point to his roots, he felt a sharp pain as if he was being drilled continuously. His roots grew thicker than before. He proceeded to his trunk, but alas, it felt like he was kicked in the balls. The only life source he had. With no evolution points left, Yuzu decided to hunt again. Something moved behind the bushes. It's hero time. Out of curiosity, Yuzu went to the source of the sound. A wounded fox lies on the floor. Its mouth is open as it takes its last few breaths. With his branches, he poked the wounded fox. It is not dead yet due to the poison. He can't let it feed to the peregrine falcons. Yuzu contemplates. According to the projection, the liquid from his branches can be used as a cure for the fox. He decided to revive the fox, then kill it for evolution points. As it turns out, this tree isn't so stupid after all. Using the liquid from his branches, the wound stopped bleeding. The fox suddenly felt alive again. His eyes were glowing from the energy it received from the tree. Yuzu prepares to attack. However, the fox unleashed its power, the mighty Aegyo. The fox rubbed itself into the trunk of the tree. Yuzu was stunned. Despite its mighty strength, this tree is a huge softie for cute creatures like the fox. Yuzu hugged the fox like a fluffy stuffed toy that kids like to hug when they go to sleep. A shining light suddenly exploded. The red fox was in fact evolving. Its fur is as bright as the phoenix who rose from the ashes. It looks like the more evolved version of Fennekin from Pokemon. Yuzu opened his status window. Like the lovely fox, he is also at the beginner stage, just 5 stages ahead of the said creature. He recognized the potential of leveling up and becoming godly in his world. He wondered why the fox was wounded. Is it possible that it is being hunted by humans? Where are the humans anyway? Yuzu heard another sound nearby. 2 young women approached him carrying a pail of water and a basket of fruits. Recognizing these 2 unfamiliar faces, Yuzu activated his stealth mode. One of them called him Papa. It seems like he is the father of these 2 women. Yuzu realized that their father is buried beneath his tree roots. The 2 women offered their prayers and ate their offering. After eating, the 2 decided to take a bath. Yuzu, being a pervert that he is, wanted to see these beautiful women. Whether you are a tree or a human, perverts will remain perverts, and Yuzu is still one of them. As another week passed, Yuzu's world is filled with unknown dangers. A soar of eagles screeched. Apparently, these eagles are mutated golden eagles, a more dangerous bird than the peregrine falcons. From a distance, a red fox pounced, seizing the eagle by its powerful jaws. The 2 struggled for power. With the eagle's deadly claws, the red fox was crushed beneath it, its blood spilling from its skull. The eagle noticed a sound nearby. Before it could attack him, Yuzu unleashed his whirlwind tornado charge. The eagle wailed as it fell to the ground. Gaining additional evolution points, he wondered how the golden eagle found him. It must have been his aura. Yuzu, still vulnerable despite his level, decides to get stronger, together with his companions. Something erupted from the ground beneath. Feeling hazy, Yuzu saw several of his branches and roots being cut off. He did not sense the enemy. Alarmed by this thought, he prompted the system to show the enemy's attributes. The enemy was in fact a war axe snake, a similar level to Yuzu. The snake counters his abilities, making him more vulnerable. It grabbed one of his branches. With the help of his friends, they tried to fight the snake. Yuzu strikes the snake's belly. Hissing in pain, the snake became more furious. Trying not to show his fear, Yuzu strengthened his roots, striking the snake again, but alas, the snake seemed distracted. It slowly retreated, going back to where it came from. Yuzu realized he is not as strong as he seemed to be. Not wanting to face the same situation again, Yuzu continues to evolve along with his companions. His branches grew back and his body got bigger. The red fox grew robust. The peregrine falcons zoom across the sky faster than the speed of light. Yuzu noticed that his change affected them. Wanting to finish what he started, Yuzu asked the falcons to search for the war axe snake. Just then, the two women from the other day came back, running towards Yuzu. A horde of wild animals was chasing them. He thought that his aura lured them towards him. A wild boar chased down the girls, but the red fox leaped towards the boar, saving the two women. The other animals began to attack the red fox, but the peregrine falcons soared to them, defending the red fox. With his newfound strength, Yuzu positioned himself ready to attack these ferocious beasts. Prepare to be evolution points, you bastards. Striking them with his enhanced branches, Yuzu killed several mutated creatures. Instead of killing the brawny ones, he decided to keep them. After being chased by the wild beasts, the two women were exhausted. Yuzu thought of any worst-case scenario. Out of all scenarios, being an ugly tree in the zoo seemed like an unfavorable one. I guess being attractive still matter in your second life, huh? One of the girls woke up. Yuzu showed his most ominous look. The girls thought the tree would attack them, but Yuzu did write something on the ground. As he anticipated their reaction, the girls asked him about their greatest secret. Luckily, the system knows. Xiaoling likes her neighbor, while Xiaoqing skipped school to take care of their family. Is it because their father is buried under this tree that it knows their secrets? What if the time flow made their father's soul fuse with the tree? Yuzu gave the sisters a pair of hairpins as a gift to them. Xiaoqing and Xiaoling told the tree about the unexpected happenings for the last 2 months. The spiritual energy of the East and the magic of the West could be the reason for this occurrence. Xiaoling, being the silly girl that she is, fed the untamed wolves some scraps from the animal war. Xiaohong, the red fox, threatened the wolves. Whimpering, the wolves decided to eat the scrap. Yuzu contemplated what to do with the beasts that he captured. He gained additional strength from this sudden event. After leveling up from the beginner stage, maybe he could reach the ranking stage this time. Reviewing his new capabilities, Yuzu garnered a total of 149 evolution points. In addition to his enhanced strong regeneration, he can also create a dense fog barrier that can cause hallucinations to enemies. Reaching the first rank, he can't wait to kill the war axe snake. Yet, he must kill the stronger enemies nearby. The sooner, the better. Activating his dense fog barrier, Yuzu told Xiaohong to send the sisters down the mountain. Still recovering from the sudden turn of events, the sisters cannot believe they are riding on a red fox. Yuzu continued to evolve. The hallucinogenic effect of the fog has a great reaction on the creatures surrounding him. He decided to upgrade this ability. However, he can't upgrade another skill, the life force, due to insufficient evolution points. His roots continued to spread underneath the ground. Feeling more connected to the world around him, the peregrine falcons came back. Perching on one of his branches, they told Yuzu that they couldn't find the war axe snake. He told them to continue the search. Disturbed by the noise created by the wolves, Yuzu slapped them with his branch. The sisters came back from the ride. Xiaoling was furious with the idea of bullying the wolves. Wolves are cute. This girl must be crazy. Xiaoqing, on the other hand, treated their wounds. The wolves whimpered silently. Meanwhile, Xiao Ling and Bald Head are fighting over a beef jerky. Yuzu realized that the Bald Head escaped. Tying it carefully this time, the Bald Head squirmed violently. Xiao Ling gave it a slice of beef jerky. This Bald Head is actually a softie. Xiao Qing befriended other creatures that Yuzu kept. It seems like the sisters are getting cozier with these animals. What a cute sight, indeed. Despite this positive event, another danger lurks behind the curtains. Back in the village, the sun shines brightly. Xiao Ling and Xiao Qing hurriedly headed towards the mountains. Already concerned, their grandfather wonders why they frequently go there, as if there is something going on that he does not know about. Good grandparents are the best thing in the world, aren't they? Meanwhile, Yuzu searches for Xiao Hong, the red fox. Apparently, Xiao Hong picked up the sisters again. With the sisters on its back, the red fox leaped into the forest. Xiao Qing, the quirky one, smirked. She bought fertilizer for Yuzu, the tree where their father was buried. They wanted to make their father stronger, not knowing that it continuously evolves by killing creatures in the forest. Xiao Ling looked up to the sky, sensing that rain would surely come. Xiao Hong was alarmed by an unexpected visitor. The war axe snake looked more powerful than before. The snake hissed at them. An impending doom is coming for the sisters. At Yuzu's territory, the tree fights a swarm of mutated bees. He continues to gather more evolution points. Despite the expensive cost of leveling up, nothing gets in between him and the thought of getting stronger. His branches grew more frightening, collecting more creatures at once. It looks like the mind flayer in Stranger Things. With his improved senses, he formed a protection circle around him. Meanwhile, the creatures he kept are still tied to his branches. Yuzu wonders where Xiao Hong went. Unbeknownst to him, the war axe snake became more dangerous, killing anything that is on its path. What does this mean to the hero of our story? Yuzu is getting more worried. The sisters haven't arrived, as did Xiao Hong. The tree urged Ada, a peregrine falcon, to fly with its brothers to search for them. Xiao Hong suddenly arrived, badly wounded from the encounter with the war axe snake. No, not our precious red fox. Yuzu hurriedly used his life essence to cure Xiao Hong. The red fox slowly regains its strength, whereas Xiao Qing and Xiao Ling. From a distance, the war axe snake is about to devour one of the sisters. Yuzu was furious. With his swift branches, he grabbed the girl before the snake could eat her. Yuzu got angrier. The snake did not solely want to eat Xiao Qing, and it seemed like it ate the branch that it got from Yuzu. Yuzu knocked the snake out, sending it far away from his territory. Sensing that the tree was back, the war axe snake retreated. Yuzu is not its enemy, but rather a creature to devour. This snake surely belongs to the Slytherin house. Sneaky and devious as freak. After getting Xiao Qing, Yuzu used his remaining life essence. He repeatedly healed her, utilizing more of his energy. The creatures got uneasy. The system told Yuzu that there is no sign of vitality from Xiao Qing. No, Xiao Qing, please don't die. Xiao Qing lies still, its lifeless body unmoved. At the village, Xiao Ling does not move either. Their grandfather grew anxious as the village doctor delivered a terrible news. Even if Xiao Ling survives, she might become a disabled person. Please fight Xiao Ling, we need your pure soul. The village head came back from the search. They found nothing of Xiao Qing. Ada, who was sitting on a tree, looks at the window. Yuzu also knew of Xiao Ling's condition. This unfortunate event fueled Yuzu's anger. Together with his companions, he rallied with them, getting ready to fight the war axe snake once and for all. Avengers, assemble. Due to the energy released by Yuzu and his gang, numerous accidents have been reported. 17 planes crashed near the archipelago. More than 20 ships sunk within half a month. Mutated crows flew everywhere. Even the sea creatures turned into mutated beasts. As these beasts get stronger, they want to conquer more areas within Peng Lake. Reports said that it became a dead zone. The spiritual energy era officially begins. Why does this feel like the spirit world from Avatar? The legend of Korra? As reports of mutated beasts continue to increase, the head officer commanded his subordinates to mark out areas that has a spiritual energy exceeding 5,000. Creatures who have 1,000 plus spiritual energy are hard to suppress, as they act like well-trained military soldiers. Moreover, creatures who have 5,000 plus spiritual energy are worse. The head officer detected 8 areas with 5,000 plus spiritual energy. Maybe it's Yuziu and his friends. The red alarm alerted everyone in the room. Apparently, the system detected a spiritual energy with an amount of 18,000. What the F? Is this the end of the world for them? In Yuziu's world, creatures' size matters more than anything. Yuziu's mates are currently fighting the War Axe Snake. The White Crane, who is on beginner rank 3, cough out blood. The Black Cow, who is on beginner rank 2, cries in pain. Bald Head, being as crazy as Shouqing, attack the War Axe Snake as well. Despite their quantity and upgrade, Yuziu's companions have no match against the War Axe Snake, who is currently on beginner rank 9. Together, they simultaneously attack the snake in hopes of achieving victory. The War Axe Snake hissed as blood spilled from its eyes. Yuziu's companions were not yet finished. Another creature enters the scene, full of bloodlust and fury. Xiaohong bares its teeth. Cue and some battle music, please. This is not the first time that the War Axe Snake and the Red Fox encountered each other. No wonder the Red Fox really wants to kill this ferocious beast. The Red Fox was merely prey when the snake first saw it. The second time was when Yuziu fought with it. The last time was incredibly painful for Xiaohong. This bastard almost killed the sisters, and he was only at rank 7 that time. Poor creature. Turning pain into power, the Red Fox roared, its tail bursting with flames. The War Axe Snake noticed its raw power. It roared back, but the Red Fox relentlessly stands still. The two creatures clashed, sending each other to death. With its deadly axe tail, poisonous fangs, and tough scale, the War Axe can quickly gain an upper hand in any battle. The Red Fox was not threatened by this. Xiaohong launched, burying his claws on the snake's skin. Let's go, Xiaohong. Avenge the sisters. The snake quickly retaliates. Up in the sky, the peregrine falcons dove into the snake. Here comes the bullet dive. The snake wailed, surprised by the attack. A crack opens on the top of its belly. Wounded by the battle, Xiaohong catches its breath. The peregrine falcons are not yet done with this bastard. As they fly like jets in the sky, the peregrine falcons let out a loud scream. The snake was caught off guard by this. Even Xiaohong felt the intimidation brought by the falcons. It seems like the falcons are ready to die just to kill this bastard. Flying faster than the speed of light means death, but the falcons are not afraid of it. They are the definition of strength in numbers. The falcons did not forget Yuziu's kindness. He adopted them, despite the cost of caring for a nest full of young birds. Deep in our hearts, Yuziu is like a parent to them. What happened to the sisters deeply affected Yuziu. Ada and the falcons will not forget that day. If Yuziu wants to kill the snake and avenge the sisters, the falcons will help Yuziu without any hesitation, even if it means dying in the end. The peregrine falcons soared once again. Using their bullet dive, the snake screamed in agony. They strike the snake everywhere, on its body and its tail. The enemy shrieked again. As bullet dive attack requires lots of their energy, the falcons slowly descended in the air. The battle left Yuziu's companions severely wounded. Xiao Hong waits for its turn as it gazes at its companions. Regardless of the wounds it acquired from the battle, the war axe snake stood once again. Not wanting to accept defeat, it hissed at Xiao Hong. As it attacks the red fox, a strong branch interferes. Our guy Yuziu is here. Let's freaking go. Yuziu sends the snake back, catching off its guard once again. He let out a hallucinogenic fog within the area. At last, Yuziu encountered the snake again. The snake stood up again, its killing instincts still alive. Yuziu recalled his past encounters with this bastard. He must not let it escape. The snake just realized that he was tricked by Yuziu. He lured it into his circle so he could come and finish it at once. Yuziu wrapped the snake with all his branches and roots. Bringing the snake closer, he tightened his grip, making sure that the snake wouldn't escape again. The snake howled, coughing out blood everywhere. At last, the war axe snake is dead. Yuziu gained 90 evolution points for killing it. Wounded from the battle, Yuziu's companions helped each other. Dissatisfied with the aftermath, Yuziu struck the snake once again, like a child punching a rag doll. He urged the snake to get up, as if it was still alive. Yuziu punched the snake again and again, beating it into pulp. Burdened with pain and sorrow, Yuziu screamed. He tries to find meaning to his actions. For him, killing the snake who killed the sisters is justifiable in a world where the strong kills the weak. Yuziu continued to rationalize what he did, yet all he felt was anger and sadness. Sensing Yuziu's energy, his companions cried with him too. "Are you guys crying? Because I am." Fog descended into the valley. At the village, a woman is lying on the ground. Xiao Qing's grandfather weeps, hugging his granddaughter. Before heading back to the forest, Xiao Hong gave a one last glance to Xiao Qing. Xiao Hong is so precious, too precious for this world. In the forest, Yuziu expressed his gratitude to his companions. Because of them, he finally killed the war axe snake. As a parting gift, he gave them his life essence. Yuziu's companions glowed. They looked more vigorous, unlike the rugged look they got from fighting with the war axe snake. The wild cow looked like a minotaur. The tempest wolves grew larger, having the wind's power as their additional talent. Yuziu was overjoyed. His companions evolved, and he wants to see them getting stronger. Out of all his companions, only Bald Head and the monkey leveled up by 1 rank. They look cute though. Lol. The Tempest Wolves bowed. The crane urged the stubborn Bald Head to bow in respect as well. Yuziu was touched by their gesture. The creatures decided to stay by his side. In return, Yuziu promised to protect them. He still has a lot to learn in this world. Yet Yuziu knows that survival is the only way to live in it. As stars twinkle on the night sky, the battle with the war axe snake seemed like it did not happen. Yuziu's companions patrolled their territory. The peregrine falcon scouted the sky while the tempest wolves roamed on the ground. The wild cow, monkey, and the crane cleaned the battlefield. Xiao Hong, the red fox, is guarding at the top of the valley. As for Bald Head, of course, he is lazy as freak. What do you all expect? Yuziu grabbed the bull-headed creature. He is more stubborn than the wild cow itself. The tree threatened the bald head to work. Suddenly, a pure light radiates within Yuziu's territory. A woman emerged from a ball of light. Oh my god, who is this woman? What is this ball of energy? What's going on? The projection popped up. Apparently, Yuziu gained a new ability. He can nourish a spirit soul using his tree branches. Xiao Qing became a mutated spirit soul. How awesome is that? Yuziu remembered something about a god tree called Nourish Soul Tree. Using his branches, he carefully held Xiao Qing. Xiao Qing woke up. She asked numerous questions to Yuziu. Despite her soul revival, she does not recall who she was. Yuzu cared so much for her that he couldn't let go of her. Hence, she became a mutated spirit soul. He swore to protect her once again. Baldhead wonders what is happening to his master. As it turns out, only Yuzu can see Xiaoqing's spirit. Baldhead thinks he was the most important person to Yuzu. His face went "oh-woo" literally. Xiaoqing clutched her head. She hears a lot of voices inside her head. Voices of people she's not familiar with. Xiaoqing felt a pang of sadness. Who are these people? Yuzu observes. Since her soul did not appear, it means that Xiaoling is still alive. As twins, maybe their souls fused together. Xiaoqing coughs in pain. Her soul isn't stable at the moment. Yuzu gave Xiaoqing a bit of his life essence. Xiaoqing felt calmer. She sees things much more clearly now. Xiaoqing told Yuzu that she can enter Xiaoling's consciousness. Their unconscious bodies were at the village, yet their spirits stayed with Yuzu. Consequently, Xiaoqing's spirit can control Xiaoling's body. However, controlling a body takes a huge toll on Xiaoqing's spirit. Apparently, she can both enter and control Xiaoling's body. The tree concocts a plan. Yuzu wants Xiaoqing to live as Xiaoling in this world. Oh my god. Meanwhile, the officer's next target is the mountain surrounded by a dense fog. What does this mean to Yuzu and his friends? Rain and fog swept along the valley. Using a GPS, the officers detected a village nearby. They decided to stay there for the meantime. As the spiritual energy era consumed their world, some humans gained extraordinary abilities. These humans are called super beings. One of the rumored first-generation super beings is a man named Yango Yuan. In Yuzu's territory, Xiaoqing is practicing her newfound abilities. Yuzu asked her regarding the day they encountered the snake. After their death, Yuzu assumes they will not let this slip like nothing had happened. The tree decides on what to do in case the villagers attack their territory. Yuzu does not want to fight with humans. Consequently, he released a fog cover, expanding its reach. Yuzu also wants his companions to evolve quickly too. Soon, he will be able to create a foggy country. They will dominate this mountain. Yuzu detected an unusual energy. A group of humans entered his territory. Oh no. The commander asked the other officers to stay behind and guard their vehicle while others went to the village. Apparently, these armored vehicles are their weapon in killing the beasts. A small armor-piercing projectile sits inside the vehicle, loaded with powerful bullets. This is going to be a bloodbath. Sensing the urgency of the situation, the commander informed his people about the beast with 10,000 spiritual energy. Suddenly, a cry erupted from the village. Yango Yuan told the commander to find out what happened. As fast as the peregrine falcons, Yango Yuan fled. Yuzu detected his energy. He thinks that the people who entered his territory are different. This is definitely bad news for them. Yuzu wondered how they came into their territory. Utilizing her profound abilities, he asked Xiaoqing regarding the situation in the village. Xiaoqing felt strange. She started to feel like Xiaoling's memories were trying to merge with her spirit, recalling what happened with the snake. Yuzu urged Xiaoqing to drink his life essence. Why does this sound so weird? Lol. In the village, Xiaoling's body lies still. Yango Yuan arrived, looking at her unperturbed body. Wake up and run, Xiaoling. Yango Yuan examined Xiaoling's body. He knew that there was something going on in her body, as if a weak spiritual energy exists in it. According to her aura, her fire element is rare. Is this turning to Avatar? The Legend of Aang? Lol. If the village knows about Xiaoling's power, they would not understand it. Yango Yuan lifted his sleeve and pulled a potion. Apparently, the potion can get energy from its surroundings and replenish the one that uses it. In the forest, Yuzu asks Xiaoqing about the village. His life essence helped Xiaoqing, but it was not enough to boost up her power. Back in the village, Yan Gao Yuan gave the potion to Xiao Ling. Xiao Ling glowed. Power surged not only on Xiao Ling's body, but also in Xiao Qing's spirit. A streak of red light burst into the sky. Astounded by this sight, the officers could not believe what they saw. At last, Xiao Ling was awake. The villagers were overjoyed by this wonderful event. Yan Gao Yuan was shocked. How could she just wake up like that? Some people need almost half a day for them to replenish their energy. What the F is going on? Xiao Qing is not yet used to Xiao Ling's body. Yu Ziyu urged her to adapt, as he needed her to act as a spy in the village. Because of Xiao Ling's revival, the village decided to celebrate. They toast and eat in honor of Xiao Ling. Xiao Qing, still in Xiao Ling's body, asked Yan Gao Yuan about their plan for the village. According to him, the mutating beasts are roaming everywhere, and they are planning to do some research. Acting like a real spy, Xiao Qing continued to ask for more information. Apparently, spiritual energy satellites detected a strange energy in the forest. Yu Ziyu was surprised by this. Humans are not so dumb after all. Well, furthermore, the soldiers were tasked to evacuate the area. They also want to search for the new mutated beast that the satellite has found. Yu Ziyu decides to evolve deliberately. Now that humans have advanced technology, he can't risk being detected. This is the War Axe Snake's fault. He also concluded that they are carrying advanced weapons as well. It seems like the forest creatures are not the only ones that they should think about. Yan Gao Yuan asked Xiao Ling's grandfather, the village head, about their plans. The village had no other choice but to let Xiao Ling come with them. Yan Gao Yuan reassured the village head about Xiao Ling's condition. He will make sure they will get the best doctor to treat Xiao Ling. They must go down to the mountains first before picking her up. After an exchange of goodbyes, the soldiers descended further into the mountains. As the fog continued to thicken, the soldiers started to get anxious. It seemed like they had lost their way. Little did they know, the Tempest Wolves were waiting for them, ready to tear the soldiers one by one. As the soldiers went deeper into the mountains, they continued to get lost. They sensed that something was wrong with the fog. It must have been the increasing amount of spiritual energy in the area. Despite the illusions caused by the fog, Yan Gao Yuan managed to figure out the trick behind the fog. Suddenly, a Tempest Wolf roared, trying to scare off the soldiers. They brought out their weapons frantically. Sensing the incoming danger, the commander alerted his subordinates. The Tempest Wolf pounced, catching the commander off guard. With its mighty jaws, the wolf grabbed the commander away from his group. For a split second, the group did not know what to do. Yan Gao Yuan realized that it is a mutated Tempest Wolf. The commander hangs in between the wolf's jaw as if it's ready to chew and eat it. Aiming at the wolf, the soldiers started to shoot, but alas, the bullets bounced back. With the F, the soldiers scattered around, attempting to dodge the bullets. Why do they look like scouting rangers from Attack on Titans? Lol. Yan Gao Yuan was furious. Like Lay-by Ackerman trying to save Commander Irwin, he gave the wolf a roundhouse kick on the face. Grabbing the commander's hand, Yan Gao Yuan escaped from the wolf's grasp. In return, the wolf got angrier. It attacked Yan Gao Yuan. The fog got denser. A ferocious creature emerged. It's the stubborn bald head. The soldiers swiftly got their guns and shot it. With a spiritual energy of 4,000 to 6,000, Bald Head growled at them. Despite Bald Head's deceptive looks, he can surely kill. Even high-rank ferocious beasts should not be ignored. One of the soldiers got enraged. He shot Bald Head once again. Dust and smoke covered the entire scene. No one flinched. Yet, the soldiers wondered if the ferocious little beast was still alive. Suddenly, 3 Tempest Wolves appeared beside Bald Head. The wolves looked like they were going to eat them. Full of bloodlust, the wolves are ready to fight these pesky humans. But Yan Gao Yuan has a plan in place. The dense fog from the other night has finally lifted. Beams of light made their way through the forest. Deeply wounded from the battle, the soldiers retreated. Yan Gao Yuan felt frustrated because of Bald Head. Good job, Bald Head. We thought you're useless. The soldiers thought they could kill it, despite its small size. 6 of the brothers had died, all because of Yu Ziyu's companions. Yu Ziyu sighed in relief. With the help of his companions, they finally drove the soldiers away from the forest. Even if he wants to kill them, Yu Ziyu can't risk attracting more humans in his territory. The tree vows to get stronger again, making sure he won't face the humans for another time. Speaking of Xiao Qing, Yu Ziyu asked about her well-being. Living in Xiaoling's body for the meantime, she reported her encounter with the soldiers. Apparently, Xiaoling got on a vehicle with a different team. The tree asked Xiao Qing to act as a puppeteer to Xiaoling's body. Poor Xiao Qing. Yu Ziyu did not expect Xiaoling to gain an elemental talent. For him, this is a chance for them to gain information from humans. One of the soldiers checked out Xiaoling. Poor Xiaoling. Men are really perverts. The soldiers chattered as Xiaoling fell asleep. Little did she know that the 2 soldiers were checking her out. As it turns out, Xiao Qing can control Xiaoling for a limited amount of time. Yu Ziyu decided to provide more life essence to Xiao Qing. Yu Ziyu, you manipulative bastard, lol. After fighting in the battle, Bald Head and the Tempest Wolves had finally arrived. The Honey Badger was severely wounded. Yu Ziyu reconsiders whether to give his life essence to his companions. As he thinks of a better idea, the tree managed to make a pond full of life essence. His territory looked like an oasis in the middle of the desert. Yu Ziyu's companions were amazed. The wolves, together with Bald Head, bathed in the soothing pond. The Spirit River, the source of the pond's water, has incredible amounts of spiritual energy. Yu Ziyu's roots absorb its water, making him more robust. If he could make a pond out of it, maybe it could nourish his friends as well. This will be a huge help for them. Furthermore, Xiaoling arrived at the Super Being Research Center. The leader has been waiting for them, Yan Gao Yuan, wonders if she will be compared to others who are stronger than her. At the Super Being Research Center, the leader looks stern. He assumed that Yan Gao Yuan fought firmly with the soldiers at the mountain. Being the dutiful super being that he is, Yan Gao Yuan affirmed the leader. The old man asked about the fog. Who knows if it can affect the human's mental spirit? For them, the condition of the mountain is still unexplainable. The leader ordered a yellow warning in the area. If it gets worse, certain repercussions need to be made. As for Xiaoling, Yan Gao Yuan assumes she might be the strongest among them. The areas were divided into 4 classifications. The green area, where the humans live. The yellow area, where one must be cautious. The red area needs human intervention, and lastly, the restricted area, which is the most dangerous of all. Bermuda Triangle, a restricted area, became worse when the Spirit Era happened. Yu Ziyu's territory is considered a yellow area, and a lot of areas in the world reached this level too. Yu Ziyu's friends are becoming stronger every day. Xiao Hong received a standing ovation for his spectacular show of strength. The Bald Head showed its talent too. After the encounter with the humans, Yu Ziyu assumed he finally achieved some peace. Meanwhile, the Tempest Wolves came back from their hunt. Killing the creatures they had captured, the tree gained some evolution points. Yu Ziyu is getting more cunning as it seems. Mutualism at its finest. The wolves ate their catch. Disgusted by the sight, Yu Ziyu turned to the red fox. Xiao Hong is so composed, very graceful and elegant. On the other hand, the monkey eats Yu Ziyu's leaves. Like the graceful Xiao Hong, the crane silently glides on the pond. Gaining 172 evolution points, Yu Ziyu contemplates what to do with it. As he ranks up, upgrading becomes more expensive. His branches can cause ultimate paralysis and stun attack. Curious by his new abilities, he used it on Bald Head. What the F is wrong with this tree? Lol. Yuzu was amazed. However, Bald Head was not affected by his powers. Lol. According to Xiaoqing, Bald Head is born with anti-poison properties, making it invulnerable to poison. Yuzu was surprised that Xiaoqing came back. She reported what happened to the research center. Having two souls fused in one body, the twins are definitely stronger. With the aid of Yuzu's life essence, she will become a powerful creature. The greedy tree gave another dose of his life essence to Xiaoqing. Back in the Super Being Research Center, Xiaoling starts her training. Let's go Queen. At the Super Being Research Center, Yan Gao Yuan gave Xiaoling a brief background about the facility. The aim of the research center is to gather all super beings all over the world. Moreover, it also facilitates researching spiritual energy. Because of this, Yan Gao Yuan thinks it should be called as Academy instead of a research center. As they both entered the recruitment ground, one of the super beings noticed Xiaoling's energy. Standing on the top floor, the director informed them what they were about to do. Super beings must adapt with the changing nature of the world. With their abilities, they will begin a new era. The students shouted in unison. The first test begins. One by one, the students undergone the spiritual energy test. The examiner checks each of the super beings' energy. Others have low to medium amount of spiritual energy. This batch of super beings are worse than the previous ones. A slender woman named Yan Langling finally took the test, garnering 2,000 energy. She passed the test. The examiner was stunned by the numbers. Yan Langling was not surprised by this. The examiner called another name. This time, it is Xiaoling. Everyone, even the director, anticipated the outcome. As Xiaoling put her hands on the screen, a huge beam of energy erupted. The number continues to rise as if it could reach 10,000 points. With her limitless energy, she broke the energy test. Yan Langling nervously laughed. She never thought that a country girl like Xiaoling was stronger than her. The examiner told everyone to go to their designated arenas. For super beings who have a high energy standard, they must try to touch Yan Gao Yuan within 1 hour using any method. Back in the forest, Yuzu is chilling by the pond, as if everything is alright. Bald Head silently poops, ruining Yuzu's mood. The two bickered again. These two are like a married couple. Lol. Barely scraped from the fight, Yan Gao Yuan stood in the center of the arena. Around him, the super beings were exhausted from the battle. Yan Gao Yuan laughed. If no student can touch him, then all of them will be disqualified. Just you wait for our Queen Xiaoling. As 50 minutes had passed by, only Yan Langling and Xiaoling remained in the arena. The rest of the super beings were incredibly exhausted. Yan Gao Yuan challenged them once again. Taunting the remaining students, Xiaoling got anxious. She can't get disqualified. Surging with raw power, Xiaoling prepares to fight. Yan Langling got terrified. This woman has no chill, the F. Using her fire energy, Xiaoling darted past Yan Gao Yuan, but she barely managed to leave a scrape. He challenged her once again. Going in multiple directions, Xiaoling flew everywhere. She's like an OP hero from an anime. For a newbie, everyone was surprised. Xiaoling hit Yan Gao Yuan as fast as she can. Before she could attack him again, Yan Langling sent her flying off the wall. Yan Langling successfully passed the test. Sneaky woman. Yan Gao Yuan swiftly approached Xiaoling. Despite her bleeding head, Xiaoling ignores it. She suddenly remembered what Yuzu said to her. Yan Gao Yuan wanted Xiaoling to go to the clinic, but Xiaoling told him to freak off. Yan Langling teased Xiaoling. She did not expect Xiaoling to lose against her. Xiao Ling repeated what Yuziu said to her. Filled with anger, she put Yan Lang Ling on the ground. Gasping for air, she urged Xiao Ling to let go of her. Xiao Ling is so scary. She really wants to kill Yan Lang Ling. Before she could release a final blow, Yan Gao Yuan stopped her. He told Xiao Ling that she passed the test as well. Yan Lang Ling, still on the ground, catches her breath. Seeing her raw energy, the research center decided to make Xiao Ling stronger. Back in the forest, Shou Qing told Yu Ziyu what happened at the research center. The villagers were urged to move to the city since the mountain is not safe anymore. Winter finally arrived. Yu Ziyu continues to get stronger day by day. Another creature looms. This time would be different. In the northwest region, the soldiers succeeded in excavating spirit stones from the earth. Despite the victorious mission, a lot of lives were lost because of it. As the soldiers retreated, a giant creature broke out from the ground. Armored with silver, the centipede roared. As usual, Yu Ziyu strengthened his branches. He cannot wait to reach rank 2. Reaching rank 2 means being invulnerable to nuclear weapons. Interesting. If he evolves into Transcend rank 2, humans will definitely know his location. For the first time, Yu Ziyu was afraid of humans. Back in the research center, the super beings are struggling to deal with the Spirit Stone mission. Its energy lured huge amounts of mutated beasts. At the beginning, the soldiers only encountered 4,000 spiritual energy from mutated rats and birds. Eventually, a Transcend rank 2 centipede slithered, spreading terror in the northwest region. The research center sent a team of super beings to deal with the crisis. Shou Qing delivered this news to Yu Ziyu. According to the research center, the Spirit Stone is a special ore with an immense amount of energy. It can be used to speed up power and be on the same level as Yu Ziyu. Yu Ziyu was pissed. He also needs to think about what to do with the silver centipede. It killed almost half of the super beings. This centipede is no joke. Yu Ziyu deduced that the centipede could be hiding its energy. Consequently, this is the first inland disaster rank mutated beast. Yu Ziyu asked Xiao Ling if he could fight it. Shou Qing gave a vague answer. In terms of power, the silver centipede is more powerful than the tree. Yu Ziyu urged Shou Qing to go back to Xiao Ling's body. Xiao Ling went to see the instructor. She asked him if she could go to the northwest region. The instructor disagrees. He wonders why Xiao Ling wants to go there and risk getting killed. At Yu Ziyu's territory, the peregrine falcons captured an ant queen. Together with its colony, Yu Ziyu prepares himself to kill these creatures and turn them into evolution points. Garnering almost 800 points, he strengthened his tree roots again. This tree has no chill too. Pain increases every time he levels up. On the other side of the forest, Baldhead lies on a ground full of snow. What the F does this mean for Baldhead's fate? Deep in the frosted areas of the forest, Baldhead catches his prey. As he brought his fish away from the pond, he spotted a group of creatures nearby. Baldhead sneered at them. However, he still shared his fish with them. Baldhead is so wholesome. That's my boy, lol. In return, they give an offering to him. Waving his hand, Baldhead said his goodbyes to these creatures. Baldhead surely is having a good time. Suddenly, Baldhead flung from his seat. A tide of snow almost ate him, twice as big as he is. The creature looked at Baldhead. The green turtle stood still, as if he wanted to squash Baldhead with its giant feet. Baldhead looked like he was going to cry. His newly found friends were crushed beneath the turtle's feet. He let out a loud scream. Sensing what was going on, the Tempest wolves ran into the source of the sound. Baldhead was buried deep in the snow, as if the green turtle did what his giant feet could do. Terribly wounded, the wolves brought him back to Yu Ziyu. Obviously, Yu Ziyu used his life essence again. The tree commanded the wolves to find the creature that tormented the honey badger. Yuzuyu asked Xiao Hong to come with him as well. He badly wants to kill the green turtle. Xiaoqing also asked the tree to go with the search too. After her encounter with the instructor, Xiaoqing told Yuzuyu about the spirit stone. It seemed like the spirit stone can conceal spiritual energy. The tree realized why the silver centipede grew without being detected. Xiaoqing asked Yuzuyu for some patience. Soon enough, they will get the spirit stone and use it to level up. Even a pair of spirit stones will not conceal Yuzuyu's power as soon as he continues to get stronger. Yuzuyu reassured Xiaoqing that she needs to secure her spirit stone first. Surely, the underground spirit river will help him in other ways. After deducing, it seems that the power of the river itself came from the spirit stone mine. The tree realized that his opponent this time is tougher than the war axe snake. Yuzuyu changed his mind. He commanded Xiao Hong and the wolves to check out the scene. Yuzuyu asked the crane and the falcons to fly around and see if there's anything suspicious. Digging a hole in the ground, the tree asked Xiaoqing to follow the river's path. Yuzuyu tells his friends to report this time, instead of getting engaged with the enemy. With the task at hand, Yuzuyu's companions flew to their designated areas. Let's go, Yuzuyu's friends. You all can do this. Xiaoqing found several spirit stones in the mine. A roar echoed inside the cave. An African giant tortoise emerged from the hole, guarding the blood herb. The plant serves as a treasure for evolution. Xiaoqing thinks it could help her master, Yuzuyu. Not wanting to let go, the tortoise roared again. Striking the oars, Xiaoqing flew as she held the blood herb. Up on the ground, Yuzuyu sensed that Xiaoqing made the creature furious. The tree searched for Bald Head. It seemed like the honey badger was gone. It probably wants to poop again. Lol. Xiaoqing activated her mental spirit energy. The tortoise countered her attack. The earth shakes as the tortoise darts towards Xiaoqing with all its energy. Xiaoqing hurriedly led it to Yuzuyu. Creating another barrier, the tortoise made sure not to let the blood herb escape. A tiny creature passes by Xiaoqing. It's the Bald Head. Like a shooting star, the honey badger lunged itself into the tortoise. The tortoise groaned in pain. Bald Head wasn't finished. He won't let this bastard get away again. Xiaoqing warned Bald Head, but the honey badger couldn't hear her. Bald Head charged in multiple directions, knocking the tortoise off. He let out a scream of revenge as he bit the tortoise. The honey badger bleeds, but it does not care. Bald Head just wants to kill this beast once and for all, before he could attack the tortoise. Its huge paws struck back. Xiaoqing warned the honey badger for the second time, its teeth barely gripping. Bald Head recalls his precious memory with the tiny creatures that he befriended. Another cry erupted from the honey badger. Is this the end for the tortoise? Originated from different parts of the world, the honey badger is an incredible creature. With its strong paws, wide head, and plump body, it can counter any attacks from the enemy. Furthermore, it is the most vengeful creature out there. As it turns out, the honey badger hasn't reached its final form. Prepare to die, you giant tortoise. The honey badger suddenly changed its color, looking more deadly than before. The electric energy emitted from its body burns brightly. Moving at a lightning speed, Bald Head flew towards the tortoise. However, Xiaoqing interfered. The honey badger didn't stop fighting. You can do it, Bald Head. Bald Head dashed everywhere, making sure that the tortoise would knock off on its feet. Xiaoqing cheered for her friend. They thought it was dead, but the show is far from over. Bald Head surely lives up to his name. He is defiant as hell. Even if it is smaller than its opponent, the honey badger simply does not give up. Thankfully, Xiaoqing came to his aid. With his remaining strength, he released a huge blow against the tortoise. Yuzuyu arrived to help his friends. His roots grew larger, and with Xiaoqing's power, they faced the tortoise together. Go-Go Power Rangers. At last, Yuzuyu arrived. Currently on Transcend Rank 1, the sandrock giant tortoise can shake the ground with its earthquake ability. Yuzu looked at Bald Head. Badly injured, he reassured the honey badger. "You did very well. You fought valiantly. Our honey badger is the best." He told Bald Head to leave the rest to him. Bald Head sobbed. "Who wouldn't cry? Our guy experienced a lot of pain." Meanwhile, the tortoise finally charged towards the tree. Xiaoqing informed Yuzu not to fight it directly. Ignoring her advice, Yuzu punched the tortoise. It struck one of its horns. Still clutching Bald Head, he threw the honey badger to Xiao Hong. The tortoise roared again. Using its feet, it shook the ground, sending earth spikes to the tree. Yuzu's strong branches countered its attack. He slashed the earth spikes as debris fell everywhere in the area. He grabbed the tortoise from the ground, slashing it again with his branches. The tortoise shrieked. The war axe Snake Fist, his final weapon, created a dent on the tortoise's shell. He sends the tortoise away from its territory. Yuzu finally killed the tortoise. 8,000 evolution points. What the F? Bald Head looked at the dead tortoise. The tortoise got what it deserved. Yuzu was overjoyed. They found a lot of ores inside the tortoise's hideout. Xiaoqing also gave him the blood herb. Together with his friends, they started mining the spirit stones to bring back as many ores as they could. Yuzu dug a cave towards his roots. Xiao Hong and the wolves dragged many stones while Xiaoqing and Bald Head made a burrow in the cave to cultivate his roots using the stones. They gathered lots of ores, even bigger than the one that the centipede has. Excited to gain more evolution points, the tree evolved again. The spiritual era brought huge changes to the environment. Normal birds migrated to the south, while mutated birds can endure harsh winters longer than normal ones. As the bird flew across the sky, Yuzu struck each one of them, as well as the creatures on the ground. His roots spiraled everywhere, as if they had grown throughout the ground. Yuzu's appearance changed too. His colors changed and his eyes grown fiercer. The tree gained more than 13,000 points due to the spirit stones. His abilities enhanced, as well as his branches and roots. Apart from his hallucinogenic fog, he can control the sand too. You mean ground? Lol. He quickly tested his ability. Achieving Transcend Rank 2 is terrifying. The sand control can only range to a few hundred meters. With this additional talent, maybe he would be able to walk freely. Having sufficient points, Yuzu enhanced his life force talent. Enhancing his regeneration ability would make him more invulnerable. As he evolved, his surroundings became more colorful. Flowers began to grow, and his appearance felt like he's a tree during autumn season. Cutting one of his branches, Yuzu saw the improvement of his abilities. His friends rejoiced with this progress. Xiaoqing thinks the tree reached a spiritual energy of 30,000. Those ores are something. The falcons came back from their patrol. However, only 2 of them reported to Yuzu. Apparently, they discovered something suspicious on the ground. Yuzu asked one of the falcons to fetch his brothers. Suddenly, the wild cow asked Yuzu for a sandflower. It quickly grabbed it by its mouth. The wild cow transformed. It finally reached beginner level 9. Furthermore, the wild cow can speak too. He plans to enhance Xiao Hong as well. Hungry for more power, Yuzu expanded his cave. All of his companions continued to transport more spirit stones. As for Xiaoqing, she returned to Xiaoling's body again. Her fire energy and mental spirit fuse, making her more awesome. Slay Queen. The instructor asked for Xiaoling. He showed her a mutant who has genes of both human and wolf. What does this mean to the human race and for Yuzu? Sitting on Yuzu's branches, Bald Head recalls his memory with the tiny creatures. As he sat with his loneliness, Yuzu slapped him with his branches. Bald Head is being lazy again. Back in the research lab, the instructor talks about the mutant. It seemed like the cells extracted from the humans could not resist the wolf's cell. As a result, thousands of experiments failed. Moreover, another batch of humans will be tested for the experiment. The instructor stated that sacrifice is necessary for the sake of humanity. To achieve it, they need to capture Yuziu. As Yuziu gets stronger, humans are getting smarter too. At the Bayou Canyon, Qianqing, a super being, is leading a group of people towards the mountain. Another two super beings, Qianfeng and Qiantong, were tasked to collect a spiritual herb and kill a few mutated creatures. Qianqing alerted them. A rank 1 mutated wildcat pounced, but Qiantong easily killed it with its hands. Qianqing detected another beast again. She asked the group to retreat this time. Before they could run, a white tiger launched at them, killing one of humans. Qiantong attacks, but he was easily defeated by the tiger. Oblivious to the fact that bullets won't kill the tiger, the spectacle guy fired his gun. Wow, the stupidity. The tiger killed the spectacle guy with the one bite. Qianfeng asked Qianqing to quickly retreat and go back to the army. Before she could run, Qianfeng's head was squished beneath the tiger's paw. Not again. These mutated beasts have no chill. As the tiger opens its mouth to Qianqing, a branch grabbed it. Yuziu arrived to save Qianqing. The white tiger screamed. As she closed her eyes, Qianqing fainted. Back in the forest, the white tiger faces the whole band. Bald Head got pissed when he knew that his one level lower than the tiger. Using his life essence, Yuziu wanted to befriend the tiger. Ultimately, the white tiger meowed and licked Yuziu's face. He wondered what would happen if he used it to the super beings that he saved. Qianqing woke up. In front of her, Yuziu and his companions smiled at her. She urged the two super beings to wake up. No way she would survive with these mutated beasts. Qianqing thinks she's going to die. Using his essence again, she grabbed Qianqing. Qianqing screamed. Why, this looks like she is being sexually harassed. Qianqing thinks this tree has a country and Yuziu is the leader. Yuziu asked Qianqing about her ability. She told him about her intuition. Yuziu laughed. He thinks that Qianqing's ability is a joke. What an asshole. Yuziu commanded Qianqing to train his pets. Obviously, Qianqing protested. Yuziu activated the life essence with a simple command. Qianqing will become his slave. This tree is becoming evil. He asked any pervert thing he could ask to a woman. Wow, not only did he become stronger, but he also became worse too. Yuziu thought he could fully control Qianqing. The tree gave his life essence to the other super beings. He wanted them to train his companions. Yuziu also plans to build a home. After infusing the superhumans with his life essence, Yuziu dragged them to their new homes, zooming out of the massive valley that was once sparsely populated. Now we can see his roots and branches entwining all over. He is directly guarding the underground cave containing the ores, and the humans are housed near the life essence pond inside one of his many interlacing branches. The tree country is coming along nicely. Now that his chores are done, it's time to get back into business. Not only can he move freely on land, but he also has the potential to become an existence known as the God of Willows. When he started this life, he would not have dared to think of these grand thoughts, but now they have become realistic. His spirits are at an all-time high. He has become an avid believer that anything is possible due to his extraordinary circumstances. He has become a mutant willow with a 500-year lifespan. His passive inherent skills are improving at a decent rate, and he has 13,432 evolution points to spend as he sees fit. When he broke through the second level, he had harvested over 5,000 evolution points, while killing the Earthstone turtle gave him another 8,000. He has observed that entry-level 1 monsters provide 10 evolution points and entry level 2 provides 20 subsequently. For creatures of extraordinary rank, on the other hand, the evolution points gained are calculated according to their spiritual power. A beast with 80,000 spiritual power can net him around 8,000 evolution points. He was also notified that he had gained the power to manipulate the earth element. An earth-bending tree combo goes crazy. He can upgrade this ability further by absorbing a large amount of earth stones or hunting more earth turtles. Consuming 1,000 evolution points, he decisively reinforced his earth element ability. He could not help but feel a sting with the number of points he must spend the minute he achieved his second-order transcendental status as a creature. With his reinforcement, the whole forest lit up in a blinding light. Every single creature under his rule felt that the tree they all served just got a whole lot stronger. Finally, it's time to get up. The ground trembled in his power as the terrain that was once flat is now filled with raised cliffs made by his power. His power to control Earth has become significantly strong, but the range is still somewhat limited. The honey badger, Bald Head, was once again a victim of his master's experimentation as he slowly loses grip at the edge of the raised cliff. He slowly fell from a terrifying height, and as he banged against the side of the cliff multiple times, he began to accept his fate. Thankfully, all he sustained were some minor injuries, but the pain of always being the victim of his boss' shenanigans hurts more. The boss tree is playing favorites when it comes to his underlings, consuming 3,000 more points to reinforce the earth element. Yuzu has become even more determined. The ground raised even higher than he initially did, and Bald Head was once again propelled to the sky on the platform against his will. Every tree root in his body has become akin to that of a turtle. It can now tear apart the land and cause catastrophic earthquakes. If he goes all out with his roots, it'll be enough to raise a wave of land hundreds of meters tall that can drown anything in its path. But using spiritual energy at that massive of a scale only increases injuries in his own body. The first thing he needs to do is take control of this land, and only then can he travel across the world. Yuzu revels in his recent achievements while Bald Head cries at his fate. His misfortunes probably came from incurring debts in his past life as he's now stuck atop his master's artificially made concrete towers. Meanwhile, in a county on another continent, a peaceful port city can be seen. A man looks out to the sea, and impending doom strikes him as this peaceful port city might become not so peaceful anymore. Ocean waves tall enough to devour the city rampage and reach land before the people can even react. Their charge is so powerful that it reaches the city and almost devours the high-rise buildings. This tsunami is tearing away the homes of a lot of people, but the wave itself is the least of their concerns. Along with the tsunami, a monstrous sea creature jumps on the residential buildings looking for humans to prey on. Zooming out of the rampaging wave, it seems like the monstrous deep has emerged onto Earth as they look for nourishment in the form of the entire human population. This is genuinely the worst-case scenario for us if it becomes real. The masses are wildly unprepared for this development as they become an all-you-can-eat buffet for the monstrous creatures. Amid the high-rise buildings flooded by the ocean, a massive figure starts to emerge. It is the first-order transcendentalist creature, Crimson Octopus. Its power is demonstrated simply by its size, which rivals that of a building. Not far from this monstrosity, another massive figure is also rising from the fog. It is the third-order transcendentalist, Golden Eel, and it is also heading towards the bustling human cities. 5 hours later, in another location far away, we see the prestigious place housing the leader of the country, the White House. That White House looks fancy as hell. The frantic and angry voice of the nation's leader can be heard inside as he receives reports that the military response has been at a snail's pace with regards to the recent monster development. The entire city of Jinshin has been brought into ruins, and the death toll is continuing to rise. He needs an update regarding the mutant sea creatures invading their land. The woman named Erin promptly explains that they have discovered that the mutated beast is a large basilisk belonging to an ancient species. It is estimated to be 100 meters long and weighs 70,000 tons. As for its spiritual power index, the lowest estimate they have is 170,000, and it can be upwards of 250,000. Everyone in the room knows that this piece of information is a game changer for the nation and for humanity itself. It turns out that they have already tried launching 3 nuclear bombs to slay the beast, but only one has landed. As of this moment, it has retreated to the bottom of the sea, so pinpointing its location has proved to be impossible. The leader becomes furious that only a single nuke hit, and they still haven't confirmed if it was eliminated or not. These deep-sea creatures are fiercely targeting humanity. From now on, it's only going to get worse. Nukes just became useless so fast. How can humanity bounce back from this? Back in the Tree Empire of Yuzu, his superhuman with the shadow ability named Qian Feng is brandishing a steel handle with determination. His companion, Qian Qing, is fervently urging someone not to fail this time around. The body-strengthening superhuman, Qian Tong, is also giving his all and demonstrating his strength. The Three Stooges are quick to adapt. Zooming out on the scene, you see Qian Feng cooking with passion. Qian Qing is teaching the same tiger that attacked them some basic human phrases, while Qian Tong is grappling with the monkey, which completely overpowers him. Even the mighty bull is acting as the assistant chef, assisting with the cooking, while the tiger is too unintelligent to absorb any human language. This beast is the most foolish among all the monsters in the forest. This tiger is just like me, for real. Though devastated by their tasks, the battered muscle freak offers soup to the stressed-out teacher. Surprisingly, the evolved bull can now speak fluently as it comforts them, explaining that even he cannot completely subdue the other beasts. It's been 3 days since they arrived here and had their lives essentially handed over to the tree. Now, they work according to his wishes. They never would have thought that 300 kilometers away from the city, this type of mythical creature would exist. If the military knew about this, they would surely use everything in their power to eliminate him. Anyway, if they want to leave, they must teach the beasts the ways of humans. They have no choice in this matter. Seeing the foolish tiger, the primary reason that they're here in the first place, they cannot help but facepalm at their decisions. Yuzu stands tall and stalwart as the monarch of the forest, and Qiao asks him why he made the superhumans stay. He explains that he did it because he's aware that human knowledge is crucial for all of them, including in battles. With that in mind, she also has something to report to her master regarding developments on the human side. She informs him that the humans have finally utilized a nuclear bomb. Out of the 3 that were fired, 1 hit its target while the other 2 bounced off due to the golden eel's roar. By using sound pressure, it changed the trajectory of the targeted nukes, and even after being hit by 1 nuclear bomb, it managed to escape back into the sea. The monsters have finally witnessed humanity's terrifying side. This makes him think that unlike the sea monster, which has the sea as its escape route, he has nowhere to go. He must evolve fast to the point of nuke invulnerability. When asked if the sea beast would die, he simply reasons that the nuclear bomb's power isn't the scariest part. It's the radiation. Now that they're in the evolution era, if the sea beast can evolve and gain resistance to radiation, it would spell disaster for humanity. Let's just wave the white flag at the point. They need to search for stronger companions from now on and quickly establish the underground empire. Meanwhile, in the depths of the ocean, the golden eel writhes in pain as the radiation and wounds from the nuclear weapons' impact slowly test it. Back in the valley, Yuzu's branches and roots spread far and wide across the plains. He picks up every single unevolved beast that he deems worthy of a new life and brings them directly in front of him. Bro is casually picking new members for the evolution tryouts. He lowers them into a shallow hole surrounded by the evolved beasts. The three humans watch with confusion as it appears they're witnessing some sort of ritual. The new beasts try to intimidate their way out of the hole, but they are met with the imposing figure of a massive fire fox. There's no need to scare them any further as Yuziu begins infusing these beasts with life essence. The humans watch with envy as they witness precious life essence being given to a bunch of wild beasts. The boar evolves into a beginner rank 6 mutated wild boar with a defensive life force talent, pleasing the tree. Though it's not stronger than the fox and the tiger, it still belongs to the second tier along with bald head, monkey, and the peregrine falcon faction. They could be the four powerhouses. Now it's the alligator's turn. After receiving the life essence, it undergoes a significant transformation, turning blood red in color, growing horns, and sprouting spiky crystals all over its body. Everyone is shocked as it evolves into the ancient emperor alligator. Xiao Qing recalls having seen this type of beast in her instructor's book before. Some beasts can revert to their ancestral forms and transform into their most ruthless and ferocious state given the right circumstances. As the alligator poses threateningly, a familiar figure of the fox enters the picture. It seems like a clash of the titans is about to commence, as these two remarkable creatures are about to determine the rankings right there and then. Place your bets, folks. The two beasts faced off against each other with the pure aim of determining who is stronger between them. Every other evolved beast watched in anticipation and seriousness for the battle about to begin. Meanwhile, Baldhead sat atop a tree branch, munching on some nuts as if he were about to watch a blockbuster movie. This badger is living the high life. The mutated red fox is a powerful beginner rank 9 creature that can bend fire to its will. It is a fearsome beast by every metric. Even the superhumans watching from afar were hyped for this monstrous battle. The alligator initiated the first move as it let out a roar that tore through the air and the ground. Every single platform and footing the fox chose to stand on was quickly and savagely slashed by the air current. The fox managed to close the distance and dodge every shocking air blade the alligator unleashed. It's getting hard to keep up with the speed of the match taking place. The fox landed, but the alligator had its fangs ready to pounce, and that's precisely what it did. The caught fox noticed that the alligator is about to go for another move as it lifted its massive legs up. If you've seen any nature documentaries before, this is the legendary alligator death roll. Once the reptile catches its prey in its jaws, it will do everything in its power to tear it apart. Straight out of Animal Planet, the alligator dove down the ground and a massive cloud of smoke obscured everyone's view. The battlefield cleared up, revealing that the fox had managed to break free from the alligator's clutches, leaving its jaws wide open. This development caused an uproar among everyone in the audience. The fox gathered a massive amount of energy and turned it into a blazing inferno, ready to be released at any second. The massive blaze was unleashed at the open mouth of the alligator. That heat is the final level of Ghost Pepper challenges. An explosion of fire and dust filled the air around the forest. Even Yuziu himself could not be certain of the result of the final clash. As the smoke cleared, we saw the alligator and the fox facing each other at a safe distance. Just as the fight started, both of their faces went from nodding smiles to laughter. The boss knows that this can only mean that the two monstrous beings acknowledge each other's powers. Xiao Qing is pleased with this unexpected addition to their forces. With genes from the ancient era, this new member is nothing to look down upon. This ancient emperor alligator is also a beginner rank 9. It has the atavism life force talent. The angrier it gets, the stronger it becomes. This alligator belongs in Dragon Ball, along with bone armor, sharp teeth, and sound shock. This beast is not someone to mess with. With the conclusion of the grand battle, Yuziu called out to his superhuman subordinates, the Qing gang. The next day, it seems that the humans are undergoing some physical training along with the beasts. In front of Yu Ziyu, the muscular Ching Tong is kneeling on one knee while being admonished for his greedy motives. He wants to receive more of the God Tree's life essence. This is a world where the strong prosper and the weak perish. He's just a weakling with no background who happened to awaken a body-strengthening talent. The God Tree, Yu Ziyu, is his only hope of becoming stronger. Yu Ziyu simply warned this greedy human that he would never trust someone who would betray their own race, dismissing the man. He apologized for intruding and wasting the God Tree's time and took his leave. No level up juice for you, buddy. When asked why he rejected the man, Yu Ziyu reasoned that he has been kind enough already. This place is filled with spiritual energy that anyone would be willing to stay here. Every single human he took in has also improved their strengths by leaps and bounds, achieving rank 6 and rank 7. Xiao Qing reasoned that having these powerful humans should be beneficial to them. They will provide much needed convenience in the coming days. But he knows that some people are born differently. When given something, they'll treat it as a habit and take as if it's something owed to them. The day you stop giving is the same day that person will turn on you. This tree knows humans like the back of his branch. In his eyes, humans are just like that. Now, whether that's the case with the man and his crew, he still needs to observe longer. Now that the valley has entered a peaceful period, and they have the ores to use as a foundation, all they need to do is stay low-key. Xiaoqing also updated that the silver centipede has been caught and is now under experimentation by the humans. It is unbelievable to him that humanity has already captured such a powerful beast in just a month of struggle. She's planning to absorb this silver centipede's spirit soul. Maybe then she can reach rank 1. He's unsure about this plan. As a transcended rank 2 silver centipede's spirit soul isn't something that anyone can just play around with. The worst case scenario is that she can have her soul devoured. But she has already made up her mind regarding this matter. She's tackling it with utmost confidence. You can see that this girl is also starting to learn how to stand on her own 2 feet. It seems like she's grown a lot while staying with humans. Their conversation was interrupted by a commotion happening at a distance away. Since the hot-tempered alligator was captured by Yu Ziyu, it has been behaving and suppressing its wild temper. That's until the mischievous bald head, who thinks he's the strongest, appeared and continuously provoked it for a fight. This little guy has some deadly hobbies, man. With countless life and death fights, Baldhead's combatability has now reached the peak of beginner rank 7. Other than Baldhead, the Gold Silk Monkey and the Wild Boar have also teamed up and reached rank 7. As for the Airborne Force, the Black Swan has reached rank 7, and the Peregrine Falcon faction has reached rank 8. The land-roaming Wild Tempest Wolves have now increased in number to 30. They're now a group that can't be messed with. But Yu Ziyu knows that these beasts won't grow further in an unsuitable environment. He recognizes that he shouldn't lock them up here under his protection. That's the mark of a true leader right there. If he lets these beasts out, especially the Emperor Alligator, it will undoubtedly become a tyrant in the area. He knows that now is the time. Under a starry night sky, he called for a meeting with every single beast and human under his jurisdiction. If this combined force were let loose on the world, the government would go crazy. He started his speech addressing his subjects. Now that many of them are nearing the peak of the beginner rank, he can't keep protecting everyone by himself. Everyone needs to go out and train themselves, but not everyone can leave. Only those who have reached beginner rank 9 can. The 3 that are qualified for this are the Red Fox, the Demon Cow, and the Emperor Alligator. The rank 9 White Tiger protested this announcement, but Yu Ziyu reasoned that this cat is just too stupid to be let out into the world, so he's staying behind to avoid causing any trouble. The tiger was so stupid that he thought his master was praising him. Just keep this guy as an overgrown house cat. From now on, the Red Fox will be known as Nine Tails, the boss, and his second in command. The Wild Cow will be ranked second and will be named the Demon Cow from now on. The Stupid White Tiger will be ranked third, and the Emperor Alligator will be ranked fourth, even though his combat strength is on par with rank 1. That's because he's a late addition to the team. From now on, they will be under Yuzu as the Great Nine Demon Beasts. And with that, they must begin their own paths. I'm hoping that Bald Head gets into the Great Nine Demon Beasts team. Other than human cities, they can claim any other places they fancy with their own strength. The fluent Demon Cow approached him and objected that he does not want to leave, a decision that he respects. This caused a stir in the alligator's mind. Yuzu respects this decision, but he reminded everyone that no matter how strong they become, they can't fight alone. These words lit a fire in every beast's heart. Nine Tails and the Emperor Alligator rush out of the valley at their top speeds, eager to strengthen themselves for their master. Far away from the valley, in a state-of-the-art research facility, the captured silver centipede lies dormant as it's contained by humanity's best binding technology. Xiao Qing stood in front of this beast, admiring this experiment. The body was cut, and all that's left is the head, but it's still alive and well. A transcendent rank 2's life force is truly out of this world. She got right down to business, as this creature can understand the human language. She urged the beast that rather than struggling to live in this facility with just a breath and as a shell of its former glory, it should join her and become her power. With that, they could live in the same body together. This insane proposal piqued the interest of the transcendent centipede. Xiao Qing's determination could not be any stronger at this moment. Centipede plus fire combo low-key goes hard. Does not it? Nine Tails overlooks the sandy terrain of a desert atop a cliff. The Emperor Alligator dove deep into the heart of a massive river, and White Tiger still cannot be taught the basics of the human language. The kitty is doing his best. The Great Nine Demon Beasts are starting their journeys with their own unique ways. Meanwhile, Bald Head is just chilling on top of the harvested spirit's stone ores and eating nuts, while the hardworking Tempest Wolves work tirelessly in hauling the heavy ores. However, this relaxation is short-lived, as he cannot escape the all-seeing eyes or branch of his master. The branch got close to Bald Head, and he immediately tried to escape, but was met with a forceful tug. The hardworking wolves watched him get spanked like a kid after lazing around. This boy just wants to chill and fight to the death when he's in the mood. Absolute Giga Chad. Up on the ground, Yuzu is practicing his newfound skill, the Willow Wind Blade. He released the blades, but they failed to go through the mountainous terrain. The power is still too weak, and it isn't stronger than his branches. It's okay in close combat, but it uses too much energy. With that in mind, he used 2,000 evolution points to upgrade the skill to level 2. His remaining evolution points have gradually depleted to just 6,432. Either it's money or evolution points, everything flies so fast these days. With the upgrade to the skill, he tried again. The improvement was evident as multiple Willow Wind blades with sharper and brighter energy rampaged all over the place. The blades cut through the massive mountainous terrain like butter. With this upgrade, the skill just became more interesting. Its power, quantity, and range all got a huge boost. But it still uses up too much energy. Unleashing this attack requires him to extract spiritual power and visualize it to materialize. It's a whole different method than just using his branches to attack. He opened his system, and it looks like everything in his arsenal has been upgraded to level 2. That is, except his main trunk. His tree trunk is his main source, so he needs to prioritize this now. When he checked how many points it would cost, he was greeted by the whopping figure of 10,000 evolution points. On the other hand, upgrading the dense fog to another level would only cost him 6,000. He opted to immediately raise his power level through the dense fog. He's already starting to have a headache as to where he would get the evolution points to upgrade his roots and branches even further if this price hike continues. Brother, isn't it failing economy? He's just like us for real. But on the bright side, the higher the requirements are, the stronger it would make him. He's going to become unstoppable. A white dragon roared from a distance, and the humans caught the sound of it. As they were wondering where that fierce sound came from, a fog dragon flew by them like it was nothing. They automatically thought that their Lord God Tree is up to something with this dragon once again. With his fog control at level 3, he can now change his form into anything he wants. He plotted that once Shou-Ching gets back here, he will use this new ability to scare her. Come to think of it, that girl hasn't been around for quite a while now. Her life at the human side must be terribly busy. Just as he was thinking about her, the place where her soul resides glowed in a blinding light, even piercing through the ground. Her soul is undergoing a transformation as a phantom of a centipede crawled around her. It seems like she's finally breaking through. She absorbed the centipede into her system at the Super Being Research Institute, and now she's finally started her ascension. At the Super Being Research Institute, her physical body known as Xiaoling is undergoing the same transformation while in deep sleep. The professor knows that this is a clear sign of evolution, as they had seen this sight before. He quickly ordered the other researchers and students to bring fire spirit rocks, and they must make sure that they're the best ones. That's a W professor right there. On one end, her soul is being nurtured by pure life essence, and on the other, her body was being aided by the highest quality fire spirit rocks. These two powerful materials coalesce inside her soul and body. She broke through and her soul woke up in the most perfect state possible. With the phantom of the transcended centipede around her, she just succeeded in her transformation. The researchers quickly took her body to rest as they reveled in the fact that Yan Gao Yuan has really brought them someone special this time around. In just half a year, she's broken through to transcended rank 1. This lady that snores like no tomorrow has the brightest future ahead of her. She's the greatest double agent of all time. Back in the valley, the recently awakened soul of Shou-Ching demonstrated her newfound strength by destroying the mountainous region with just a flick of a hand. Yuziu quickly urged her to stop, as she might annihilate the whole place if she continues. Not only did she break through, but she has also materialized and turned the silver centipede into her weapon. There truly are a lot of mysteries in the world. More importantly, her soul has become even more materialized and solid. She has absolutely subjugated the transcended beast to become her cute little familiar that's willing to protect her no matter what. I might go ahead and hunt some centipedes to tame in my area after this. Yuziu refused to get upstaged by his precious Shou-Ching, so he also wants to show her something new. From a distance, the fog twisted and turned and slowly solidified into an organic shape. It took the form of a gigantic demon cow and dragon. She admired this new skill of his. It's a materialization of fog, but it also has destructive power. This power should be possible due to the pressure formed by the moisture in the fog. It truly is devastating, but at their level, it's only as strong as a medium mutated beast's power. The only edge this fog beast has is that it has no fear at all and is immune to physical attacks. Not only that, but he can also wrap his branch around the fog beast, and people would assume that it's a real monster due to its sheer power. Even if it's through trickery, it would still have the power of Transcended Rank 2. With this unpredictable beast form and the hallucinogenic effect, he can turn fake into real. That's some clever use of his powers. 100% approved. Shou-Ching immediately pulled him from his high horse, as she's disappointed that it does look fun. But she expected more, launching him into a panic. She snapped her fingers and the dragon disintegrated. To her, with the mental type of spirit, these fog beasts are nothing. It was like his world was crumbling as the fog dragon he painstakingly formed, and thought was invincible was erased just like that. Not only is it useless against her, but she can also follow the source of the fog beast and find the main body in control. Yuzu has never thought of this possibility. Called her a lumberjack with the way she dismantled this tree man. That's when she suggested using the spirit stones. Not only can they conceal the spiritual energy connection with the fog, but they can also strengthen it. He really liked this suggestion by Xiao Qing. It might just be what he needs. He immediately took a spirit stone from the massive pile and slowly brought it up to the newly formed fog dragon. Using the spirit stone as the core of his creation, it shone in a blinding and rich purple light. The dragon materialized around the stone even more vividly this time around. The fog dragon appeared more akin to a real dragon with the spirit stone as its center. This dragon looks like a menace to society already. They were both amazed at what just emerged in front of them. The fog beast's energy is totally concealed. With that issue perfectly addressed, Xiao Qing turned to him as she has one more thing to show him. The war between sea beasts and humans raged on in a different part of the world. The sea monsters relentlessly flooded and charged towards human settlements. The military tried their best to halt the savage rush of the mighty beasts with artillery. They even deployed their best fighter jets equipped with heavy missiles. These fighter jets targeted a specific sea beast that had been causing them trouble for quite some time. Despite the countless explosives they threw at it, the sea beast's carapace remained undamaged, boasting an absurdly high defense. The militant force was starting to lose hope, knowing that their only way out of this predicament was the Freedom Federal reinforcement. With the war dragging on, they had accepted the possibility that reinforcements might not arrive in time to save them. Press F to pay respect, boys. Resigning themselves to their fate, they faced the transcended rank 2 giant coral crab. The citizens of the city watched in horror as the gargantuan giant coral crab ravaged their home. This place had been their sanctuary, where they had built their lives and livelihoods. But now, it was being burned to the ground. Meanwhile, in the valley, Xiao Qing reminded Yuzu to send out the peregrine falcon to a specific location she had mentioned earlier, as she had something to give him. Xiao Qing stood in a mountainous area as the peregrine falcon locked onto her. The falcon, named Ada, initially thought that the two sisters had perished at the hands of the snake a few months ago, so seeing her in the flesh was quite a shock. Ada couldn't contain his excitement and joy at being reunited with the kind woman he knew. She tried her best to calm the noisy bird down to avoid attracting attention. However, the emotional falcon couldn't contain himself. Finally, she handed the package to the falcon to deliver to their master. Does anybody know where I can get a falcon for a pet? Within moments, Yuzu had the package in his grasp. He immediately turned on the switch on the side, unable to contain his curiosity. Inside the package was a golden ant with weak signs of life. Although it hadn't awakened yet, its life force, talent, and abilities were already excellent. I've seen this arc in Hunter x Hunter before. Xiao Qing's soul manifested as she yelled at her master for not waiting for her to take a look. She explained that this tiny ant was a miracle produced after sacrificing hundreds of millions of ants. Fortunately, it had a short lifespan, so the professors agreed to give it to her for the final dissection. Yuzu truly believed that this ant was something extraordinary, a creature that had emerged from hundreds of millions of experiments. He closely examined the ant and made up his mind. With his help, this ant would not breathe its last breath that day. Since his pure life essence was too dense, he diluted it with water from the spirit pond and slowly infused it into the ant. The ant gained a new light of life in its eyes. Its vitality instantly increased, and it began to stabilize. They celebrated as the ant glowed with a vigorous light. Perched on a branch, the ant began to undergo evolution. The smoke slowly cleared, revealing its new form. It now stood upright with a body befitting a creature that was 1 in 100 million. It had become a mutated gold ant with a strength 100 times greater than its predecessors. Imagine how painful this ant's bite is. The mutated ant and Yuziu exchanged meaningful glances. He swiftly struck out with his branch, but the ant had quickly vanished. He followed up with multiple branch strikes, but the beast gracefully dodged them, leaving afterimages in its wake. This beast was truly fast. When he managed to make contact with his branch, the ant raised its arm and effectively blocked it, although it was pushed back by the sheer force of the strike. It quickly regained its footing on the ground. Even though the ant was only as big as a palm, Xiao Qing praised its speed and strength for keeping up with her master's branch. After their exchange, the mutated golden ant surprisingly kneeled on one knee and pledged its allegiance to its new master. It vowed to follow Yuziu until death. Another ride or die general secured. He was surprised that right from the beginning, this new follower was already using telepathy with him. It was only rank 5 at the moment, yet it was using a technique that even the rank 9 white tiger couldn't employ. Sensing that his name was somehow involved, the white tiger came hopping in excitedly. The mutated golden ant immediately established its dominance by trash-talking the tiger, who couldn't even use telepathy. Of course, the tiger responded by crying and dramatically walking out of the scene. Never change, white tiger, never change. Yuziu bestowed upon the ant the 5th rank in his beast rankings and ordered it to cultivate in the underground cave. He would also grant this beast its name. Given its lustrous golden color, he decided to call it Sparky. Sparky complied and followed his master's orders. He had witnessed countless deaths of his own species, hundreds of millions to be exact. He had been through countless experiments, and his heart was burdened with heaviness. The stronger Sparky became, the more he couldn't suppress his anger towards humans. However, he would never turn on his master. That was enough. Sparky's giving off some savage vibe. On one side of the valley, the bullied white tiger was being comforted by his human teacher. She reassured him that those who learn slower often grow to be even smarter. The distance away from the valley, the emperor alligator was indulging in his fresh prey. Suddenly, he found himself enveloped in a bright light. He was already evolving. He knew that if he evolved in an open place like this, the humans would surely discover him. Just as he had thought, the human headquarters received a red alert regarding his evolution process. They quickly determined his location and spiritual energy level of 24,000. The woman in charge became serious upon hearing the reports. She decisively ordered the coordinates to be sent to the Air Force. It seemed that the Emperor Alligator was facing a serious problem. He has this in the bag, he can surely tank an Air Force drive-by. Meanwhile, Yuziu was still toying with the capabilities of his fog beasts, intruding on the lives of his superhuman subordinates. The Air Force quickly responded to the call and surrounded the area where the evolution of the Emperor Alligator is taking place. He quickly realized that he was being surrounded by the heavy hitters of humankind. The headquarters finally got a good look at what they were facing. A massive reptilian beast that embodies primal force. He swiftly hurled boulders at the airborne cameras, disabling and destroying their surveillance system. He quickly neutralized every single camera from every possible angle, sending the headquarters into a panic as they had no clue what was happening on the battlefield. Take the CCTVs out first, smart move. Capturing this mutant beast, which is much larger than the silver centipede, with just fighter jets is simply impossible. The woman in charge of the operation abandoned the possibility of capture and focused on the mission of annihilation. She ordered the deployment of long-range missiles. They could not afford to let this beast escape their encirclement alive. Shouqing's spirit quickly informed Yuziu of what was happening to the Emperor Alligator. The clueless boss was now bombarded with reports that dozens of combat aircraft had already been deployed, and the extraordinary troops were being dispatched as well. He knew that his subordinates could not be that careless, but it was inevitable as he had been discovered during his evolution. Who knew getting stronger would be this inconvenient? The Federation was paying special attention to this case as they had ascertained that the alligator was an ancestral mutant monster. They couldn't even make such a big deal about the silver centipede. It seemed like there was something he didn't know about beasts with ancestral genes. Xiaoqing had to go now as she was being dispatched along with the rest of the extraordinary troops. He worried that his alligator had never seen Xiaoqing's physical body as Xiaoling. They might get entangled somehow. He could not afford to let things get worse. He ordered the peregrine falcons, the first of his beasts and the overlord of the skies, to help the Emperor Alligator. At their speed, the humans would not be able to touch them at all. All they needed to do was hold down the planes and snip them off if necessary. With those orders, the peregrine falcon faction simultaneously flew at blinding speeds towards the center of the incident. Bird Gang, rise up. The Air Force continued their relentless barrage of destruction towards the beast. In one of the aircraft, the extraordinary troops, including Xiaoqing, were planning their approach to fighting the ancient beast to the death. She was deeply concerned about how this mission would unfold. At the psychic monitoring station headquarters, people were starting to protest, suggesting they should just drive the monster to the red restricted area and let the extraordinary troops do the heavy lifting as they provide support at the end. The leader snapped back that it was impossible. The Institute of Biology had already confirmed that this monster had retro-ancient genes. It would only become stronger if they halted their attacks now. A month ago, the Freedom Commonwealth was turned upside down by the golden eel. There was also the ancient giant crab from Sakura country that destroyed a whole coastal city. Oh snap, sea beasts are staying on top. If they let this alligator go now, it would spell catastrophic disaster for them later. The Emperor Alligator continued to use his powerful tail to hurl gigantic boulders toward the airborne fighters. With multiple projectiles at a time, his attacks were extremely effective. He's just the beast titan in the form of an alligator. One boulder hit a missile mid-air, causing an explosion of smoke in the sky and blocking their vision. Veiled behind this smoke, the beast started hurling boulders at a faster pace, decimating a large chunk of the airborne fighters. They were becoming increasingly certain that this monster was vastly different from the silver centipede. It was as if it had gained wisdom. The alligator observed his enemies and began to make a run for it. The pilots panicked, realizing they couldn't let this chance go to waste. They had to utilize their bombs. They rained down heavy force on the terrain surrounding the alligator, sinking its footing. In response, he calmly stood still, and his foot started to coagulate. He dug deep into the ground, and his tail followed suit with coagulation. He came to a complete stop, and his muscles stiffened. He was also becoming increasingly exhausted. The pilots wouldn't let this chance go by without emptying their ammo on the stationary beast. A barrage of missiles and explosives rained down hellfire from above. The Emperor Alligator's defense was starting to give in to the man-made terrors pouring upon him. This is just unfair, man. The only thing he could think of was to call out to his master. The humans watched this downpour as every shell dropped. Everyone, including Xiaoqing, held their breath while watching the scene unfold. Humanity was looking forward to their seemingly imminent victory. Under the ceaseless downpour of explosives, the Emperor Alligator was almost invisible amidst the countless explosions. He was spitting out blood and tanking the missiles with nothing but his scales and body. That's a real tank right there. Eventually, the airborne units started running out of ammo one by one. With their last load, they had to finish off this vulnerable beast. While the units ready for the final drop, the headquarters was alerted that other creatures were approaching the scene. There were 8 of them, ranging from 8,000 to 9,000 in spiritual power. They still could not identify what kind of creatures these were, as they were too fast to get a visual. It was the peregrine falcon faction, flying at inhuman speeds towards their comrade. Determined to save their fellow beasts under their master's orders, the falcons approached the targets. The pilots were warned of the approaching creatures, finding it impossible that these beasts were rushing towards them at 4.6 Mach speed. For context, that's about 5,680.08 kilometers per hour. Just as they were about to confirm what they had heard in their comms, the Falcons had already broken through every fighter jet in the air. The headquarters had lost all contact with every single air unit they had. To make matters worse, the Emperor Alligator had successfully escaped. They stared with disbelief as the unbeatable battle plan failed. In one corner, Xiaoqing heaved a sigh of relief for the alligator's safety. This girl is betraying humanity, but I'm rooting for her. Before the end, they finally captured an image of the creatures that spelled the end for their plan. They saw the fierce sight of the peregrine falcons, the top predators of the sky before evolution. These birds were now at the 9th level, and the current Air Force was no match for them. There was no way they could defeat this group. As the sun set, the Emperor Alligator and the Peregrine Falcon faction leisurely strolled towards their master. At Bayou Gorge, every beast in the valley rushed to the dense terrain to welcome back their injured comrade. At first sight, the injuries of the Emperor Alligator looked worse than they could have imagined. The gargantuan beast stood before them, riddled with deep wounds, swimming in his own blood. Even the usually carefree bald head went to the side of his friend to make sure he was all right. Bald head really does have a kind heart despite everything else. Yuziu promptly calmed everyone down, assuring them that everything was going to be all right. He informed them that their comrade had been caught when he was evolving and almost died under gunfire. Every beast looked concerned, while Sparky seethed with hatred, once again witnessing the cruelty of humans with his own eyes. Make him stronger faster so we can get the Chimera and Ark again. The Emperor Alligator approached his master tree when suddenly something caught both of their attention. Yuziu swiftly dispatched his branch past his subordinate. A mechanical gadget of some sort was squatted and destroyed. The alligator panicked as he had an idea of what that was. Yuziu knew all too well that this was a sub-miniature scouting plane. It seemed like something breached his fog defense as the alligator was fleeing home. It's time for war. Looking at the beast's wounds, it was hard to believe that he could still stand straight with dignity. The humans use armor-piercing projectiles, so the master warned him not to fight with his body as heavily next time. It seemed like human ammunition had advanced to the point where it could cause extraordinary damage to a First-Order Transcendent. He started to worry about his other precious subordinate, the Red Fox, Nine Tails. The armor-piercing was not that big of a threat to the reptilian monster, but the missile that stiffened his muscles and incapacitated him was a different story. Solidified muscles were a natural counter for beasts like the Emperor Alligator. Amidst all this debriefing, the alligator opened his jaws and presented his master with a gift. It was a snake egg that he wanted to give his master. Its mother awakened the element of ice, and if he was not mistaken, this egg was also following the same path. He's starting to complete every type of monsters. He's about to catch them all at this rate. He also pulled out an ice spirit grass from his mouth, as if it were an unlimited storage box. Yuziu thought that he really had an intertwined fate with snakes. He could already feel the strong icy cold spiritual power emanating from this egg. He was certain that it could surpass the powerful snake that he had eliminated a while back. Back at the headquarters, they were observing the footage they got from the outskirts of the fog in the valley. They theorized that maybe elements had also started to evolve into life. They also caught a glimpse of a tree that had some peculiar movements. They needed to check again if there was life in this area. The mountain that the alligator escaped had to be investigated by the Air Force immediately. It had the possibility of being a habitat for mutant beasts. She ordered to list the mountain as a red forbidden area as they sent troops for investigation. No matter what happened, they were determined to hunt down the Emperor Alligator. They were going to do everything in their power to never let this beast off this mountain, as if the surrounding heavy fog was not enough for a red flag for them. At the foot of the foggy mountain, the military forces have already set up their temporary base camp. Various armed personnel patrol the perimeter, looking for signs of evolved beasts. A few meters from this base camp, Sparky observes the settlement. His hatred for humanity is almost tangible. Bro was just a menace to humanity right from when he was a small ant. Back in the valley, Yuzu orders the heavily injured Emperor Alligator to go to the center of the mountains and claim the land as his own. He should also create a lake, and when the time comes, he will be bestowed with life essence to create a spiritual lake of his own. The Emperor Alligator swiftly complies as the other beasts become worried about their comrade moving so fast after being injured. He reassures them that he'll be alright and that they will be able to play together next time when he gets better. This sentiment lifts the spirits of the beasts. These guys are just too precious. Why the hell are humans trying to mess up the chill vibes in the mountain? Now the humans know that the alligator is hiding in the mountains. Xiao Qing wonders what their next move is. Yuzu plans that for now, they should stay put as only the Emperor Alligator has been exposed. They need to observe the situation more. They can always use the fog beast to hide the truth. He emphasizes that in this mountain, no human can harm any of them. She continues that the humans have been increasing their forces at the foot of the mountain. It looks like they are planning to break through any moment now. He has already noticed this development and he has carefully thought about what they should do in response. The armed forces gather and try to scout inside the foggy forest. It seems like one of the soldiers has lost control of himself as the others notice him venturing deeper and deeper into the woods. They try to call out to him to come back, but it's as if he's not hearing anything. As the soldier slowly vanishes, they try to get out of the fog to contact the camp. Before they can even gain distance, a limb of fog has already caught up to them and crushed one soldier into a pulp. Insert the bonk sound effect here. The rest of the scouting force cannot believe what they are seeing in front of them. Even at the base camp, the fog has suddenly turned into something out of a nightmare. It takes the shape of a long and winding fog dragon. The military confirms that this is the fog beast they read about in the reports and promptly tries to empty their ammo against it. To no surprise, the bullets do not work at all. They ascertain that the fog contains water, so it regenerates quickly, and their bullets are useless. With that in mind, a soldier comes out wielding a flamethrower. But before this guy can even aim at the fog beast, it is already struck by a powerful force coming from the side. It is the superhuman Qing Tong. He has been beckoned by their Lord God Tree to prove his loyalty if he really wants to join his faction. Qing Tong might be a human race betrayer, but I respect the guts. The soldiers caught on that there are enemies coming from behind, and they are surprised that it is not a beast but a human. They compose themselves as they are certain that this is an enemy. On the other side of the forest, Sparky emerges, mocking the humans for exuding a stench of rotten flesh wherever they go. He readies himself to dive into the massacre that is about to happen. Go do your thing, Sparky. The military tries their best to shoot wherever they see the enemies that infiltrated the base camp. Xiao Qing and Yuzu stand from afar as they watch the war below. She laments that the threat that the mountain poses will truly be exposed to the world now. He reasons that it's impossible for them to hide forever. All they must do now is show them the true horrors of the mountains. They must also delay their entry into the depths of the mountain. If nothing is done about these humans, they will continue flocking and charging with impunity. When asked about the soldier that he tormented with visions using the fog's ability, he answers that he will let him out. He needs someone to bring the terror of the fog beast out. She knows that the next time the humans come here, it won't be such a small army in a temporary base camp. They're going to bring out their full firepower and superhumans back here. To this sentiment, Yuzu fervently answers that they're ready to go to war. He might be a tree, but he has that dog in him. A few hours later, Sparky stands atop a mountain of corpses that he has slain. The whole base camp has been annihilated. After some time, rumors regarding the dangers of the Misty Mountains start to circulate around the surrounding cities. They say that it's a mountain that keeps people walking in circles. Not only does it house a giant alligator, but it's also the home of evolved living fog beasts. In the depths of the mountain, the Emperor Alligator claims his land and creates a massive spiritual lake. He has bestowed 10 drops of life essence, so this lake has now become a paradise for everyone. Ro casually made a resort for his friends to hang out in. Meanwhile, Yuzu is once again practicing. His branches take on a different color as they split into multiple branches at their ends. It turns out that he has upgraded 2 branches to level 3. The strength and speed have increased significantly, and you can now adeptly catch targets with its instantaneous splitting feature. Upgrading a single branch costs a whopping 1,000 evolution points, so upgrading everything's out of his reach. His main route even costs 100,000 evolution points to upgrade. He's having doubts about how long it will take him to evolve further. Whether you're a human or a tree, being broke is universal. Spending his remaining points, he upgrades 8 more branches. His current power is estimated to be around 490,000, a staggering figure above the 2nd level. He direly needs to speed up his evolution. He was able to take it easy and slow in the past, but with everything happening, he cannot afford to do that now. He telepathically calls out to his Emperor Alligator subordinate to inquire about something. He needs to know everything about the river that the alligator stayed at. He explains that the Great River is treacherous and unpredictable. Even with the strength he had before, he did not dare to stay a second longer. And it turns out that the water of the Great River has the power to suppress the fluctuations in spiritual power. This might just be what Yuzu is looking for. But he has a big obstacle in front of him as he feels something lurking in that river. He is sure that there are existences of transcendent 2nd order and above prowling about in those waters. Water monsters are just built different in this world. Meanwhile, at City Z, the soldier that Yuzu let go has been suffering mentally the whole time since he got out of the forest. The only useful clue they got from this soldier was about the Fob Beast, and there is no other clue. The superhuman Yan Gao Yuan is enraged, as he is now determined to assemble the army and the superhuman troops. He also includes the extraordinary 10 heroes of the Federation. This war is a war that he will personally wage and command. That alligator did a number on their troops, and it ranks amongst the top 3 of all mutated beasts discovered. He vows that even if there are only ashes left, he will burn the mountain to the ground. This dude thinks he's the main character or something. Yuzu was shocked by this piece of information. He did not expect the Great River to house a 2nd order transcendent. The Emperor Alligator did not dare to go any deeper, but he felt a terrible sense of oppression in those waters. He suspects that there are more than just 2nd order transcendent in those depths. There might even be 3rd order transcendental existences lurking beyond. What are these beasts eating down there? Yuzu now realizes that the Great River is not as simple as a dragon's lair or a tiger's den. With this line of questioning, the Emperor Alligator is beginning to catch on to the God Tree's plans. And it was exactly what he was thinking. Yuzu wants to bring that Great River into his territory. The advantages of letting it flow directly into the sea will become his means of fighting against human beings in the future. He's planning to take over the world. Let's go. When he secures this channel, they will truly be able to rise. The Emperor Alligator was overwhelmed by his master's ambition and determination. He wants to contribute to this goal, so he suggested an initial plan. If they want the Great River, they must conquer the surrounding mountain range first. Yuzu could send Bald Head, Armored Boar, Demon Cow, and Sparky conquer the range. Now that's a stacked lineup that I would love to see. Since he's already a first-level transcendent, the humans will be alerted if he makes a move as they would sense his spiritual strength. Furthermore, it will be better to use that mountain range as a place for the beasts to train while they can protect them from the edge. Yuzu did not expect this subordinate of his to be so thorough with the planning. With that, he assigned the beast to take charge in this hunt. He trusts that this clever alligator already knows what he wants. It responded perfectly without even being asked. The prey will be left to be dealt with by the god tree himself. Additionally, if they run into someone with good abilities, they can bring them back. He's making Yuzu's life so easy. He's like the perfect subordinate. Before they leave, Yuzu handed him some life essence as insurance. He does not want anything bad to happen to his precious beasts. With their plan established, the Emperor Alligator got up from his spiritual lake as it was now time to hunt. After settling the battle arrangements for the mountain range, it was now time for the construction of the city. He asked Ching Tong, who's in charge of the construction of his underground city, and he was caught off guard by the appearance of the god tree downstairs. He gave a rundown of the building efforts. They have successfully made 3 floors, which once opened will connect the entire underground tunnel. Thanks to the massive number and hard work of the Tempest Wolves, everything has been going smoothly. I wasn't aware that wolves are the ideal construction staff. In addition, the mutated mice that they have tamed have been instrumental in expanding the tunnels faster than ever before. They also followed the god tree's orders to bring in a water source. A tall bridge was then erected to lead to every single room. Right now, they are doing their best to increase the number of runes and training slots as much as possible. Moreover, they have used spirit stones as a source of light throughout the once dark underground city. Not only is it illuminating the underworld, but also nourishing flowers and plants that are really building the perfect city underground. All they need is internet and electricity, and they're all set. Yuzu did not expect the construction efforts to be going this smoothly and incredibly at all. Suddenly, Ching Tong inquired if his friends can also help in the construction of the underground city. He quickly refused as this is the place where they will live. The other humans still haven't pledged and proved their loyalty to him, so he can't trust them. Ching Tong asked what he would do if they were unwilling to show loyalty. He timidly asked if he would kill them. He fell silent and thought for a moment. He answered that even if he wants to kill them, his little guys will not agree. The beasts have simply grown accustomed to the presence of the humans above ground. Even though they're at war with the human race, it's still up to them to decide whether they wish to stay or leave. Deep in his heart, he hopes that Ching Tong's companions will not sell information to humans if the situation ever arises, as these people have grown and gotten along with the beasts under his jurisdiction. A king with a heart. We love that. Ching Tong looked meaningfully at his master. Suddenly, someone called out to Yuzu that the snake egg is about to hatch. Excited about this development, he quickly excused himself and climbed above ground. The snake egg glowed in dazzling light as cracks began to form on its surface. The light climbed up to the heavens as a cold energy surrounded it. Out of the shell came an elegant pure white snake that resembled a tiny snow dragon. It was a mutant white snake with a remarkable talent to control cold air and freeze anything. Offensively and defensively, it can utilize cold air to its will. Yuzu and Xiaoqing celebrated the birth of the new member of their family tree. Not only did it look majestic, but its abilities were also remarkable too. While the two were happily celebrating, other things were happening on the other side of the mountain. The stomps of a beast's hooves could be heard from everywhere in the mountain range. The Expeditionary Beast Unit had arrived at their new mission point. The White Tiger, Demon Cow, Armored Boar, Gold Silk Monkey, and Bald Head all had pure determination and hunger in their eyes. Beast Avengers, assemble. They stared at the mountain that they must conquer ahead. Their mission was to eliminate all the forces around. They must capture them alive and bring them back to the one in charge of the hunt, the Emperor Alligator. Every single one of them charged with bloodthirst right out of the gate. Sparky presented to lead the scouting efforts by going first. Demon Cow approved, reminding him not to provoke any strong foes carelessly. With a stomp on the ground, the tiniest member of the unit charged forward fearlessly with his sharp blades drawn. That's a short king right there. He vanished from view, and an explosive impact could immediately be seen from a distance. The remaining members inspected their surroundings menacingly, but as always, Bald Head could not be patient even for a minute. He was already charging his electricity coursed throughout his body. Without hesitation, he socked a wild horse in the face. This badger is so chaotic, he's the best. Meanwhile, White Tiger just brought down another tiger. For what he lacks in academics, he makes up for with savage ferociousness. Sparky continued to wreak havoc wherever he passed. Predators that were multiple times bigger and heavier than him viciously fell without even a fight. Unbeknownst to the rampaging expeditionary beast unit, a glowing eye had been watching them since they first entered the mountain range. It was the sneaky First Order Transcendent Chameleon, and there were not just one, but two of them. Potential new teammates, they would be perfect as scouts or assassins. Back in Yuzu's territory, cries of various beasts could be heard all over the mountain. He was starting to deliver the final blows to the beasts brought to him by the Expeditionary Beast Unit. Killing a hare, bat, and lizard granted him 30 evolution points each. Brown bears granted 40 points, while a wild horse yielded 70 points and a wild wolf was worth 65 points. Bro was getting boosted by his subordinates non-stop. He resembled a death god, harvesting the lives of countless wild beasts. The only thought in his mind was to kill and kill some more. In the past few days, they had hunted a massive number of preys. His evolution points had now grown to a grand total of 18,110. He was extremely satisfied with the efficiency at which he was accumulating these evolution points. Not only that, but he had also ordered his underlings to feast on the valuable prey to replenish their strength. Even his newly hatched white snake named Bai joined in on the feast. Meanwhile, not far from the valley, a gargantuan gorilla was roaring in anger. The colossal primate exuded bad vibes as it strolled around the plains. What the hell is this guy so angry about? Shou-Ching's spirit could be seen flying above the plains as she admired the majesty and imposing presence of the gorilla. Suddenly, the gorilla felt something in the corner of its eye. Although the image of an ethereal person was blurry, it was certain that someone was flying near him. The aggressive gorilla did not like this at all and roared at the top of its lungs in Shou-Ching's direction. That's a top-tier hater right there. It grabbed onto the solid mountain floor and its fingers began to pierce through the rock. Just when it seemed like it was lifting a boulder from the ground, something even more shocking was revealed. The gorilla effortlessly lifted almost half of the mountain by simply sticking its hands on the ground and pulling it out. Now, that's the definition of built different. Even the aloof Shou-Ching admired this extraordinary display of raw and primal strength. However, to her, it was nothing more than raw strength. As the massive rock formation was thrown at her, it blasted through the air with blinding speed. She stood calmly in the face of the rock formation. Suddenly, clean and straight cuts appeared on the surface of the rock. It was disassembled mid-air as if it were a piece of vegetable being cut by a sharp knife. She was proving that she wasn't easily beaten. Summoning her transcendent centipede familiar, it was now returned to strike. Back in the valley, Yuzu was celebrating yet another victory. They had finally cleaned up the piles of bodies littering the plains. The green grass sparkled, looking immaculate. However, This celebration did not last long as a massive gorilla landed on his prize clean floor. Xiao Qing informed him that she had brought him the specific gorilla he wanted. She expressed her doubts about training this beast. After all, primates were not like the other creatures, and if he wasn't careful, he might not be able to fully control it. All these concerns fell on deaf ears as Yu Ziyu mourned the loss of his once pristine grass and spotless ground. He understood her concerns since primates were the most human-like race. They were also social creatures, and if guided through their development, they would undoubtedly evolve at an unimaginable pace. If they could absorb human knowledge, they would become a completely new species, just like humans. Winston from Overwatch incoming? He reasoned that the rise of gorillas and primates might not be all that bad for them. After all, the world was already plunged into chaos. Furthermore, it took a long time for a species to fully evolve. Xiao Qing listened intently to her master. Suddenly, the knocked-out gorilla began showing signs of waking up and regaining consciousness. It opened its eyes to the sight of Yu Ziyu's magnificent and imposing tree body. It didn't waste a single second and became hostile once again. It let out a thunderous roar while Yu Ziyu observed it. It turned out that this beast was even bigger than the white tiger. The unhinged gorilla was already attempting to pounce on him, his eyes filled with bloodlust and rage. He simply responded to this blatant attempt to harm him with a single branch laced in neurotoxin paralysis poison. The gorilla fell on its back and started shivering, unable to move a single muscle. Take some time on the floor and reflect on your actions, buddy. This paralysis toxin came directly from his branches. For entry-level mutant beasts, its effect was like a nightmare. With the gorilla incapacitated, he proceeded to offer it two simple choices: surrender or die right here, right now. The answer was obvious as the gorilla urgently replied that it wanted to surrender in perfect human language. He was taken aback, as he expected the beast not to surrender so quickly. He had even thought of a bunch of threats and lures, but now he wouldn't be able to use them. He was also shocked that it could speak fluently, despite being just a primate. He asked the monster if it had a name, but it seemed unfamiliar with the concept of names altogether. Dismissing the confusion, he decided that from now on, this guy would be called King Kong. Ain't no way he's naming this guy King Kong. Although he was much smaller than the real King Kong, evolution would find ways in the future. With the name settled, he bestowed King Kong with a gift, a single drop of life essence that slowly fused into his entire body. Bright lights of evolution quickly escaped from all over King Kong's body. Even Yu Ziyu was surprised by the intensity of the evolution he was witnessing. King Kong evolved and underwent a drastic change in his appearance. His once brown fur transformed into a menacing black color with a red streak in the middle of his head. His body also became more compact, resembling the incarnation of pure muscle. One look at this beast, and it felt like a light punch would be the end for you. This is the build of the guy she told you not to worry about. He became a beginner level 8 mutant gorilla right after receiving the life essence. He possessed the talent to go berserk and choose to give up sanity, thereby gaining a large amount of speed and strength. His brute force was also enhanced to the fullest. Endowed with deadly power and superb craftsmanship, King Kong was a force to be reckoned with. Yu Ziyu assessed that King Kong's abilities were good, but not good enough to be part of the 9 beasts. With that in mind, he ordered his newfound subordinate to gather his pack. King Kong responded affirmatively and promptly postured to let out a thunderous roar like no other. With his whole chest and power, the roar shook the entire mountains and even caused a crater where he was standing. Both Yu Ziyu and Xiao Qing couldn't escape the intensity of this roar, feeling as though their eardrums were shattering. All over the mountain range, primates of all shapes and sizes heard this familiar roar. They started figuring out where it came from and all faced in the same direction. It didn't take long for them to act like a bunch of wild savages. rushing towards the call as fast as they could. Yuzu was taken aback by this development. Even Xiao Qing was speechless at what they were seeing. Every single wild primate from every corner of the massive mountains appeared and rallied under the roar of King Kong. Return to monkey, boys. Yuzu finally realized that they had just hit the jackpot.